Hello and welcome to Coffee with Dr. Carla. I'm Dr. Carla. This is Amanda, and we are so glad that you're here with us. Our goal today is to talk about mental health related issues and hopefully end the stigma surrounding them. So, I know today we're going to talk about chronic pain and more importantly, like how you should listen to your body, why you should listen to your body, right? And maybe even a little bit about what happens when you don't listen to your body. So, why don't you just share a little bit about how the idea of listening to your body and your chronic pain have, intersected with one another?
Absolutely. So for me, chronic pain is I have pain more days than I don't.
Right.
Um, I personally have an invisible illness. You can't see it, but man, I can feel it. And listening to my body has been a journey. I think I've had this pain for over 20 years. So I think early on it, I did have a few doctors who would talk to me about diet. Don't eat this, try this. And so diet was the way in to me listening to my body. And that was a real simple thing because I eat this food, it's causing inflammation. All of a sudden, I'm on the couch, unable to move, not because I'm lazy, just because I literally can't move and I need to lay
Right.
there.
Right.
So listening to my body became early through diet, but then it makes sense. Like my body's in pain. I want to fight my body because I'm mad at my body. Like, body, why are you in pain?
I need to do this and you're not letting me.
You're
Right.
not
Yeah.
letting me do this. You're the problem. You're the enemy. When in reality, this is my temple. This is my home. And, maybe if I listen to it, it will help me navigate through or around kind of this pain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And so 20 years,
hmm
what kind of things have you found to be Well, let's start with
yeah.
this. Besides just choosing not to listen,
hmm
like what were some of the obstacles to listening to your body? So even if you wanted to, I'm sure there was times where it was more difficult or you weren't sure what to do about it. Like what kind of obstacles did you face when you were trying to learn how to listen to your body?
I I'm not even sure I tried to learn how to listen to my body. I almost feel like my body sat me down and had like an intervention with me of like, you need to listen to me
Okay.
because I tended to do the things that were more harmful for my body. So if I had really bad pain, I would take extra pain pills. I would drink on top of it. I tried to physically numb my pain. And one of the things I noticed, which was, I don't know why, you have these specific moments that like stick in your head,
Right.
is I always got really upset about exercise because I was very active in my youth and in high school, running cross country, very active. And that all became super limited with my chronic pain. And so while I was trying to find new outlets, there was a yoga studio I stumbled into because
Mm,
I'd gone to different yoga studios, but there was something about this studio, this teacher, her class that I was just present and my pain was better at the end of it. And if you
okay.
asked me in that moment what happened, why her, why that class, I couldn't tell you, but something stuck with me. It planted a seed of like, I don't know, this 60 minutes, my pain is better. What just happened?
Right. 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 Yeah. So why don't you share now, some of those so obviously yoga.
hmm
So then, what did you do with yoga? What other things did you find were useful in this journey, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah, so I did end up getting sober, which is a whole another long whole documentary of my
Sure.
life,
Sure. Yeah.
which made a profound impact on my whole body, from like my skin being clearer to feeling more alert to just you notice these shifts. So all of a sudden that got me thinking, right? Like, okay, my pain is actually a little bit better now that I don't like it was like this like a literally detox, but also like my body and my pain kind of reconciling.
So the substances,
Yes.
right, while you
Yes.
were thinking they were helping by
Mhm.
numbing the pain, were actually making things much worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So couple years into my sobriety, trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I work in advertising. It's very high pressure corporate environment. And something about going back to that yoga and trying to continue to capture that moment and find different studios and different meanings. I don't know why. I don't know what it was, but I thought about that teacher and I looked her up and it sent me to a different studio that she did yoga teacher training at. And I said,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but man, getting sober and thinking about the substances, thinking about the food I put in my body, thinking about that class, there's something there. And so I went and I ended up doing teacher training. And I didn't do it to go be a yoga teacher. I just knew that on the weekends, I had at least 8 hours of being in this special place.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it was the breathing and the meditating. And I could have the most, jam-packed busy week and have my stress so high. And it was like all of that melted away. And my body got out of flight or fight at the end of that and was just like, you're safe and you're okay.
Yeah, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely huge. So that toolkit, what else
Mm-hmm.
is in that toolkit?
Well, so I will say that this toolkit, none of it takes away my pain totally. It's about managing it. So
Gotcha.
I realized a lot of like how much of my life, like I just said, I live in this fight or flight. And so even coming out of that, just bringing the pain from like a 10 down to a 6, it can be game changing for me.
Right. Okay.
So other things in this toolkit that I found is Reiki.
Yes.
So I was like, I have a go to school with somebody who's a big Reiki person. I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. Energy healing. You're literally just
You're
putting
shifting it
you're putting your
around.
hands over me. And I did it. And I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And she was talking about the places and what she found in my body. And, I could actually feel when she went over my pain spots, something shifting. And then she was telling me it before I even told her it,
Right.
So that was really profound. That has been something that I try, whenever I can financially afford it, get in there, kind of do some energy work. That's been really helpful. Sound therapy, so doing bilateral meditation,
Right.
going to a gong bath, anything where there's that vibration that is just kind of like putting your mind in a different place has been really, really helpful. So I think it's something about the world I live in has my body like this, and I'm showing up like, I gotta show up. I gotta overcome this pain
And fight it.
But it's when I release and I relax and I'm present that the pain is lower and I do a better job at my work. I'm more present for my people around me, my family. So somatically, if I listen, it's going to tell me something. So I know if I eat that food, this is going to happen. Or if I don't do those stretches, pain's just going to be worse. Or, oh, I can tell a flare-up's coming. I have these toolkits. I have some massage work I can do. I have some stretching, so it's just about listening and connecting those dots. And it's taken a long time.
So let's also, let people know that while you've discovered all these things,
Mm-hmm.
these all these things that you have in your toolbox. Um, Again, you mentioned that your pain does not completely go
Mm-hmm.
away, but I think it's also important to recognize that while you know these things are useful, you don't always have the capacity to access them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whether it's financial or it's too overwhelming or whatever the case may be. So, I don't want people to be watching and be thinking, oh my God, well, she's got her life together and it's all so easy for her. Maybe speak a little bit to the challenge of knowing what you need, yet not being able to access it for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's a really good one because I can get really hard on myself of like, I just know the things that are going to help. So why am I not doing them? And it's because something's going on me. And usually I'm not resting. I need to slow down. So, especially thinking during the pandemic and everything and access and finance concerns, I've just sometimes even just deep breaths and naming 5 things in the room to keep me present will help. Other thing that would help, and we talk about stigma, is I do sometimes still need pain medication. And I have a whole team of doctors who I'm very fortunate to have through my access to my medical insurance, which still isn't, still very difficult, still
Right.
very burdensome. But that I don't want people to think, oh, she just does yoga and breath work and her pain's away. This is a real challenge of the medical system, the somatic body piece of it, learning to listen, which is opposite of our society, and then realizing, giving myself some grace, the grace of, I just can't do it today. My body's just like this, or I can't afford those things, so I'm going to go take a walk. this is what I can't afford. So just kind of always balancing those options because we always have a choice.
We do. Thank you so much. So remember, you can change your thoughts, discover your potential, and transform your life by focusing on your overall well-being. So until next time, continue working on being the best you possible. Bye.